Hey, hey, how are my friends on the panel? Susan and Jack, what's up?
What's up?
Why?
What's going on?
Oh, nothing. I haven't had a thing to do this last week.
Uh,
I haven't
uh-huh.
had, yeah, I've just been like hanging out, doing nothing,
Sure.
waiting for Santa to come.
Hey, Rhonda.
Hi, Susan. Welcome.
Hello. Thank you.
I'm so glad to have you guys. So, everybody in chat, say hello to Susan and Jack.
Hi, everybody in chat.
Hey.
Hello, hello.
I expect Cherie, she'll be joining us soon. Oh,
Hi, everybody in
yep, sorry, my YouTube volume was on. So I expect Cherie, she'll be joining us soon. Hi, how are you doing, Mose? It's good to have you. Chaz, hey, welcome, Chaz. I'm so glad you made it. It's great to have you here. So like I said, Cherie will probably be here shortly. Um, it's 6:15 almost where she's at, and it's probably snowing for her to try to get home. So when she gets here, I'll say hello to her. So last week I had mentioned that I was definitely going to do a show tonight, but it was probably just going to be all relaxed and nothing case related. I just wanted it to be all, some sort of holiday cheer BS because that's exactly what it turned into. It's BS because fortunately we have some more information that we get to share with you, document wise, and that's that's far more important than trying to be, you know you know Christmas spirit and all that stuff. So um we can have Christmas spirit, tomorrow or whatever. We can this is important stuff, so we're gonna do that instead of the whole Christmas thing. um and so because reading documents and emails and things of that nature can be very tedious and very boring if it's just one voice doing the reading. I have asked Jack and Susan to help me again, and Cherie, of course, when she gets here, will be helping as well. And so, yeah, that's what we're going to do. Um, so, the first to begin with, what we're going to share with you tonight is a letter, and I'm not sure if you all remember, but hopefully you can recall back to last week. I briefly mentioned a man by the name of Alex Bedner, who is an attorney in Oklahoma, well, was an attorney in Oklahoma. Alice, hello. I'm so happy to see you.
What do you mean Alice is here? Stop the clock.
I know she's in our chat.
Wow.
That's so exciting. It's great to see you, Alice. I hope you're doing well this evening. If you would like to come on, you are more than welcome. Just let me know. I'll drop you the link. If not, that is completely fine too, because you've been on a little break for a while, so you have no idea what we're talking about. But you're going to be excited. I think you'll be surprised. It's good. It's good stuff. So,
Stop
um,
the clock. She liked that.
good, good. That was a good one, Jack. You are quick on your feet, though. Um,
Eh. I'm the mouthy man, so
yeah. That's probably why we get along, because we're so much alike that way. We have to just be like "Meow" at each other.
you know.
We both give and take, pretty equally for the most part. Hi,
Yep.
Dr. Silkman. It's
That's
great to
Doc.
see you. Yes.
I put the link in the office. So
Oh, thank you. I appreciate you doing that. I meant
yep.
to tweet the link earlier too, and you guys, I'm not even joking. I have been so upside down and involved and reading and stuff that's necessary that I haven't. I didn't even drop the link for the show today until this morning because I just got so involved in doing other stuff the last couple of days that is important and helpful to Daniel. So I'm not just sitting around twiddling my thumbs singing jingle bells.
You see
I'm
what? You see what? Did you see what Doc asked?
uh, Does this live involve corruption? Well, I don't know. Were you expecting corruption, Doc?
Well, if he wasn't, he's gonna get some.
He's going to get some, yeah, for sure. Yeah, there's we are talking about Oklahoma, so take it for what it's worth. Catnip, welcome. I'm so happy to see you. I'm so glad to have you.
Super Mud Cat.
Super Mod Cat. And
super
what did I
duper
do?
mud.
I don't have a damn link ready for anybody. But I don't even have anything in the description right now. That's how crazy busy we've been with trying to get information together. So I will, sometime during the night tonight, I will get all the links together for you, because this letter that I'm going to read, start out with by from Alex Bednar. It's a 73-page document. So I'm not reading all of it, but what I will do is give you some highlights of it. And then in the document, there are two really important emails that we're going to kind of take turns reading back and forth, because it's big stuff. It's good stuff. Yeah. Any questions before I get started? Comments, Jack or Susan? Anything you want to add?
Well, we can restart the clock now that Alice is here. We're settled.
Okay.
Cat's here.
Yeah.
Yep, Cat's here. So,
Yeah.
Doc.
Doc, Shaz, Catnip, Mose is here.
Yep.
Little Mo with the gimpy leg.
Chaz.
I'm a movie quoter. Sorry, nobody else.
Oh, I'm too. Get to the chopper.
Oh,
I've got my first batch of ginger snaps out of the oven, so
and
we're good.
yeah, you know what?
Yeah.
And Susan gets a little bit of a break tonight too, because she's making fresh homemade ginger snap cookies.
Yeah, she's baking. So yeah,
she's baking. So she's going to help us when she can, and that's fine. Otherwise,
and if Rhonda and I disappear, it's because she came and picked me up, or we're headed to Susan's house to get ginger snaps.
Ginger snaps, yeah. And then the next trip will be a road trip to my house to get trays of homemade rolls that my daughter's supposed to make for all of us. So we're in the Christmas spirit. See, we got food on the mind. That's all that matters.
There you go. That's right. No, I don't. I'm good. This document though, man. It's just wow.
It's pretty crazy. It is.
It is crazy. Yeah.
And again, I need to say, I can't say that, any of this is going to help Daniel. I don't know that. But the more and more information we get, the more likely I feel like I have more hope. I mean, I definitely have more hope for something to happen sooner rather than later.
I think it goes into, the bigger picture of all the corruption and going on in Oklahoma County. I mean, it's terrible.
Yeah. I've almost gotten to the point where I'm almost willing to say unequivocally, oh God, I can't say that word either. Never mind. That Oklahoma is worse than Wisconsin, just because of how wide and how widespread the corruption is, and how many different lives the corruption involves. I'm not just talking about, a few things here and there. Like, I mean, it's insane how many lives throughout the state, but through the country as well. The corruption goes. And so, yes, we know Josh Call and his mama Peg, and, all of those jackasses, are horrible people. And not to say that Stephen and Brendan are the only people that they have, abused or treated badly and criminally and all that. But, also that in Oklahoma, it's not just Oklahoma City or even just Oklahoma County. There's a big spread throughout the state. And the reason for that is because of, in my opinion, goes to the Oklahoma County DA, my friend and yours, David Prater. and the judges in the state in different counties. So that's big to me. I mean, it's pretty huge.
Yep.
Everybody wants pizza now. Nobody said a damn word about pizza. We were talking about.
Well, you can blame that on Doc. I got to blame that one on Doc. That's not me.
You,
okay?
Doc.
I had pizza last night. It was pretty damn good too. But
oh, well, I'm gonna have to go without pineapple. No pineapple for me.
I can't do the pineapple on the pizza. I do like pineapple though.
So I love pineapple. I'm just not warming on pizza.
No.
Without for me, please. When you order mine, please make mine without pineapple.
Yep, I agree.
Oh, Doc says consider it done. All right. Okay, so as you guys may or may not know, when I get really excited or really nervous or really, my adrenaline starts pumping, I struggle with getting a dry mouth, and my medication doesn't help with that. So even more so tonight than probably any other time because I'm so excited.
Just pause and get a drink. Just pause and drink. Get a drink when you need to.
That's fine. I apologize for the pauses that keep coming, but I just need to get little sips now and then. So, are you guys ready to start hearing some more corruption in Oklahoma?
Get to it. Let's go.
All
chop, chop.
Jack's like, quit farting around and start talking. Okay. So, as I mentioned before, and Jack and Susan, anybody else, I don't know if I have any other mods in chat yet. Alice is there. If you guys will watch, you guys know I have some porn friends who keep liking to, dropping in lately. Just, delete their comment and report them for me immediately, please. And Jack and Susan are going to help watch chat. So if there's any comments or questions. So this letter, is from Alex Bednar, who is an attorney in Oklahoma City, was an attorney in Oklahoma City. If you guys can remember, Judge Henderson, former disgraced Judge Timothy Henderson, we started getting reports, I believe it was on the 27th of March or the 28th of March. Dates are escaping me at the moment, but somewhere right there, 27th to the 29th of March, is when we started getting the first reports of Henderson's sexual assaults, alleged sexual assaults on female attorneys and ADAs. So that was on the 27th or the 28th or 29th. On March 31st, Alex Bednar sends a letter, a very lengthy letter, to Chief Justice Richard Darby of the Oklahoma Supreme Court. I'm not going to read this entire letter, but I'm going to read this first page, and I've highlighted some of the things in different colors just for emphasis, but I'm going to read this first page, and it's going to give you just it's not even going to break the ice, you guys, of his case against the DA and the judges in Oklahoma County. Not going to even break the ice. So what I'll do is once I get through tonight, like I said, I'll put the link for this document in the description because I really am urging you all to go through and read it all. And then we'll get to the emails. So on March 31st, 2 days after Henderson's scandal broke, he sent a letter to Chief Justice Richard Darby, Oklahoma Supreme Court, regarding a conflict of interest of District Attorney and Attorney General investigating Judge Timothy Henderson, and a conflict of interest if Judge Hess oversees the grand jury. So he's already warning them, look, there's a conflict of interest. If your guys are going to investigate Hess or Henderson, it can't be the AG, it can't be the district attorney or the AG, or it can't be Judge Hess that oversees it. And here's what he's going to say. Dear Chief Justice Darby, I am writing you out of concern regarding the public comments made by District Attorney David Prater that he is investigating Judge Henderson, as well as the concern that Judge Gurich chose Judge Paul Hess to oversee the grand jury proceedings. And at this point, this is only 2 days later. Nothing, as far as we know, has even been said about a grand jury. So, but Bednar has so much information that that's what he is hoping is going to happen. As we all know, lawsuits against judges are not inherently frivolous, especially when a judge clearly has been abusing his office to the detriment of litigants. The important thing is discovery to determine the extent of harm to a plaintiff. As I anticipate the women coming forward against Judge Henderson have obvious civil causes of action against him, I want to alert you to the fact I have an active lawsuit in Oklahoma County where aggrieved parties may join in and litigate against Judge Henderson, who was just served this past weekend. That case includes litigation against both Judge Henderson and Judge Hess, and the notice of tort claim highlights the criminal conduct by both judges and the corruption that has been exposed for years to the Supreme Court, the AG, the DA, and the Council on Judicious Complaints. I anticipate conducting full discovery that I have been attempting for 5 years regarding the lack of moral leadership and the fact that Oklahoma County judges have patterns and practices to deprive litigants of rights. Really? We've never seen that before, she said, being sarcastic and snarky. I previously filed a lawsuit in 2016 and was denied an opportunity to have any of my motions heard beyond November of 2016. I recently successfully got Judge Luke Duell recused after tape recording him refusing my and that case with the other case, the current case. I, along with several other persons, anticipate being called as material witnesses to testify to multiple criminal acts performed by Timothy Henderson, including filing of false and fraudulent orders on OSCN, oppressive use of office, and conspiracy with attorneys of the District Attorney's Office to violate procedural due process. And according to State v. Delap, false filing by judge on OSCN.net violates 21 and is section 21 and is a felony or offering forged or fraudulent evidence. Judge Paul Hess and Judge Anderson in tandem caused a false entry on June 8, 2018 and altered Judge Don Andrews' docket order, striking a default judgment hearing, filing a false OSCN entry that Henderson has refused to correct, thus imputing continuing criminal liability to Hess.
Jesus Christ.
Now this goes on and on and on, you guys, with more of these allegations. So any comments or questions or anything so far that we have?
Let me get back over here to it. I was looking at the document. Let me see.
Oh, we got Darkside in the house.
Yep, Darkside joined us. Looks like Kratz and Kaczynski version.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I almost have to say that it's almost worse.
Yeah. That's where I'm at, Jack. I really am. That's where I am now. Hi, Neverly. Neverly's here as well.
Yep, Neverly joined us a few minutes ago.
Jumping in. I appreciate that. Oh, and Cherie, did you have the link, Cherie? So jump on in. Yeah, so that is just one page, a half a page of information that Alex Bednar offered to the Supreme Court. And hi, Jennifer. Are these the same people that D.H. wronged?
Did Daniel Holtzclaw wrong?
Oh, that did Daniel Holtzclaw wrong. Yes. Well, no, not Alex Bednar, but the men that he's naming in the document, yes. for sure. So now at this point, Bedner's not ever really talking about anybody's cases except for his own and the possibilities of some of these other accusers of different things. Oh, sorry, we're being Neverly's at work. We can't say that out loud. So sorry. But yes, Jennifer, these are some of the men in the document that I just read. Definitely, definitely Henderson and Prater for sure. Well, that's okay, Cherie. When you get a chance, just jump in. We could use some help reading because there's a lot. So anyway, I'm not gonna, like I said, I'm not gonna read all of it because while it's very, very interesting, it's very, very tedious, and there is so much. Bedner's case is so deep and so criminal that
it's complicated.
It's very complicated. Thank you. Very complicated. And so this is why I have Jack or Cherie or somebody else with me to help me stumbling over words. But it's so complicated that you really have to read it yourself so that you can, when you get lost, you can go, wait a minute, go back and reread it again. Because some of this stuff you're going to be going, what? What did I just read? And you're going to want to go back and reread.
It's bad. It's terrible.
I'm glad that others agree with us because we all think that, those of us who've been working, sorry, I'm trying to get rid of some stuff here on trying to find things, trying to prove that Daniel's innocent it's easy for us because we know all of the facts and the details and, the trial information, all that stuff. And we know all of that, but trying to get other people to understand because his case is almost just as complicated as
Daniel's.
Bedner's and Daniel's cases are both very complicated. It's hard to get people to just want to sit down and really learn anything about it. So, excuse me. So that's why I don't want to read all of it, but I do want to ask you guys if you have a chance, an hour, go through and sit down and read it. Make your own notes. Make your own judgments and decisions about some of the things that you read in it. So now we're going to jump to page, what was it, 8, I believe. And
yeah, I'm gonna read page 7 because it highlights what it is. But yeah.
Jack's going to read page 7, and then we're just going to kind of skip back and forth, he and I, for now, and kind of read this email.
Alrighty, I'm ready.
Okay, am I sharing it?
It's okay. Okay. All right, here we go. Exhibit 1, June 2019 letter from member of Professional Responsibility Tribunal regarding corruption at District Attorney Office and private ex parte meetings with judges in Oklahoma County.
Okay. Are you looking at your own document, Jack, or are you going to read from
I am. No, I'm looking at my own.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, so this email is from an attorney. His name was Noel Tucker, and this is from June 19th of 2019. So at this point in time, Noel Tucker was representing Alex Bedner, because at this point in time in 2019, Alex Bedner has his own legal cases going on. He's in divorce court and bankruptcy and all kinds of sad situations that, I might add, he did not cause himself, but were caused because of people like David Prater and Timothy Henderson and freaking all those other asshats. Sorry, I'm really sorry. Anybody who's listening that's offended, I don't mean to swear, but sometimes I get really anxious, excited. I have to say some swears. And I'm not monetized, so as far as I know, I don't get any points deducted. So starting with this letter from David Noel, who, like I said, is representing David Tucker, Noel Tucker, good Lord, Noel Tucker, representing Alex Bednar, writes a letter in June of 2019 to David Prater. He says, "Dear Mr. Prater, my name is Noel Tucker, and I practice family, adoption, and surrogacy law. One of my family law clients has some ancillary issues affecting his ability to maintain the joint custody equal time with his 7-year-old daughter. I do not practice in the area of civil litigation or criminal law, so please indulge my concerns. I hope you can educate me to determine if any legal remedies are necessary, including a potential bar grievance for lack of honesty with a court. I am sure you know my client, Alex Bednar. Regardless of his disciplinary issues, he has an extremely strong bond with his daughter and she with him. Miss Bednar, in cooperation with her attorney, Chris Harper, and others, are working hard to separate that relationship. This effort is being propagated as a result of what appears to be an improper arrest of my client on April 18th of 2019. Ms. Bednar is using this arrest and an allegation of resisting that arrest to support an argument that their daughter is in danger in his presence. Ugh. Here's what I understand. I will go ahead and read. Go ahead and start with number one, Jack. I don't remember what we decided.
That's fine. Number one, a writ was issued on April 18th, 2019 in Mr. Bednar's CJ 2015-192 case, failing to appear at a hearing on assets scheduled for April 17th, 2019 before Judge April Collins. Mr. Bednar does not appear to have been served notices of this hearing. In fact, there was no hearing scheduled on Judge Collins' docket for that day. Please see the docket sheet for April 17, 2019, attached for your reference. All matters in that case were scheduled for hearing before Judge Hess on April 19, 2019. Please see a notice of hearing filed March 15, 2019, also attached for your reference. Mr. Bednar advises me he called and confirmed all matters in this case were all set over to Judge Hess in Canadian County, which attached notices confirms. I understand my client has an ongoing belief he cannot get a fair ruling on many issues. As a result, he forces procedural arguments that has resulted in his litigation be convoluted. Therefore, the, quote, furball, unquote, of his litigation has many moving parts. I can understand how that can make a case difficult to follow procedurally for all those involved. However, that doesn't excuse a lack of notice and the procedure that appears to have happened in this case.
Mr. Bednar appeared before Judge Collins and Judge Collins. I have to go back and look at something. There's two Collinses in this whole corrupt debacle.
Which confuses it even more.
Yeah, which does for me because Collins, this is Judge April Collins, not April Collins, the ADA that was involved with Henderson's sexual assault against her. Anyway, just a little nugget I dropped there. Mr. Bednar appeared before Judge Collins on April 29th, 2019. Guys, this is going to be really hard to keep these dates like in your mind, so I'll try to be as clear as I can. Appeared before Collins on April 29th, 2019 to have the writ set aside. I am still curious how she even heard the case when it was not on her docket for the day. Judge Collins advised she was not made aware of Judge Hess having all matters set on April 19th. She was not aware that my client had a bankruptcy matter, let alone a hearing set in the bankruptcy court on May 29th to stay collection proceedings. My client also advised there was no return of service in the court filing indicating he had been served the notice of hearing. Interestingly enough, one day later, on April 30th, 2019, after my client brought this to the attention of the court, a return of service was presented to the bankruptcy court. Defendants, excuse me, to the bankruptcy court, Defendants Exhibit 7, which is attached, with a date stamp by clerk number 04, backdated to the filing, backdated the filing to March 27th, 2019. That return of service presented to the bankruptcy court still does not appear in the case file or on OSCN. Even more disturbing or confusing to me is the fact that on May 2nd, 2019, the same return of service was finally filed in the case file with the March 27th, 2019 date stamp marked out. This time by clerk number 37. I have also attached a copy of that document for your review. If an ADA has specifically abused their relationship with the clerk's office to backdate pleadings, that is clearly an ethical violation and an abuse of process.
I would suggest, Rhonda, that just for clarification, that this, summarize what has taken place here against Mr. Badner, because it can get confusing because of all the dates, but I understand it. But
so what has happened is, I think I had mentioned that Badner was in a divorce with his ex-wife. They had a 7-year-old daughter. So, gosh, it's hard to explain. So he was also filing bankruptcy because his ex-wife had been doing everything she could, like to just be cruel, and like the document said, or the email said, to separate him from his daughter, and actually wanted to have his parental rights severed from his daughter. And so she so it's so that's kind of where this attorney, Noel Tucker, comes in, or Tucker Noel, or whatever his name is. That's where he comes in. He's writing to David Prater saying, hey, what's going on? My client, has been arrested because for a failure to appear in a court date that he was never served
right.
on.
Right.
And, yeah. So then what we just finished reading was all of the little dates, and it wasn't in the file, it wasn't on the judge's docket, and all of a sudden there is a date, and but it doesn't get filed until, but it's forged, or I shouldn't have said the word, but it appears to have been tampered with by one of the clerks, clerk number 4, and then it appears in the file, and then it's gone. When they go into the file and look at it later, they find out that it's now backdated to the March 27th. So, because that was during the time of his arrest. Basically, there's no arrest warrant to prove for them to arrest him. And I think that Tucker is going to go into this in detail more throughout his email here. But yeah. I don't know if that made it any clearer or not.
Well, basically they altered the record.
Oh, yes, definitely altered it. Two different clerks.
Didn't they change his court date to the day before he was supposed to go to court, like the 17th instead of the 18th or something like that?
That's right.
Yeah. It was supposed to be and they changed it. They didn't notify him.
No, didn't notify him. He didn't know. And
then they arrested him. Yeah.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah. Go ahead, Susan. The very next day after his failure to appear,
they went to his house with an arrest warrant, and according to him, he kind of tripped on the curb, but they said he resisted arrest.
Of course.
And so he also got charged with resisting arrest.
It's a wonder that he didn't get the shit beat out of him, but did I say that out loud?
Yeah.
I know. Doc says, how can these, I don't know what he's talking about. How
F-wits.
F-wits. I know I'm being sarcastic. You guys know I have a potty mouth, and out of respect for Daniel's family, I try really hard in case they watch these. I try really hard not to swear. So Mr. and Mrs. Holtzclaw, I'm really sorry if I say swears and it's offensive.
Just apologize for all of us, because we're
all a bunch of potty mouths.
We can be. I try to watch it, but
these people make you so mad.
They do. Exactly, Susan. We're so angered and incensed by all of this corruption that we can't handle it, and swearing sometimes is a release for some of us.
Yeah.
I can only wordsmith it with words like "what the f."
Right.
That's all I got. I get wow. I mean, do you think about this guy? What they did to him in order to pull a little slipshod shenanigans on him. I mean, what the hell, man?
Yeah.
They also stole his money. They confiscated his vehicle, which was what was it?
I can't remember. It was a sports car. Was it a Jaguar?
No, it was one of those fancy kind of designed after a military Jeep kind of thing. What are those called?
Oh, was it?
FJ40 or something?
I don't know what that is.
I think it's gonna. Susan's like, I don't know what you're talking about. What are you talking about?
My bad.
I can't think of the name. The dang thing. Anyway.
Yeah. So and we'll get to those really crazy details in a minute. Dr. Silkman, how can these F-wits pass judgment on others when they can't get their own house in order? Simply ridiculous. But we have seen this previously in Wisconsin. So much corruption. Yeah, we know. Yep.
Yeah, I think it was a Humvee or something like that. Yeah.
I like what Kat said. Son of a bench. I like that.
Funny. I didn't see it. I missed it.
Boy, how perfect. Yeah.
Oh, hi, R. William. You got in here too. It's so nice to see you. No, that was Neverly that said that.
Neverly, the Hummer.
Oh, Neverly's very clever as well. I'm so glad you guys are all here. So anyway, yeah, it's astounding what was done to Bednar, but we'll go ahead and carry on.
Okay, where am I at here? Number
3.
Number 3. Okay, just a second here. Number 3. Here's why these facts matter to my client in his domestic case. As a result of the improper writ, my client was arrested on April 18, 2019 at 6:45 p.m. and his car impounded for the HOA. Remember, he had a hearing scheduled in a bankruptcy case for May 29th to stay collection proceedings, of which that information would have been provided to Judge Hess on the April 19th setting. The arrest occurred on Thursday night before Good Friday, which would result in a potential of my client spending Thursday night to Monday morning in jail. When Mr. Bednar was being handcuffed, he asked the arresting officer why he was being arrested. The arresting officer could not tell him. The officer showed him an unsigned warrant on his phone and said that it was still being processed with the judge. Further, when Mr. Bednar requested it to talk with the duty judge for the weekend, he was denied. He also learned that the duty judge, with his family law judge, Lynn McGuire, again, remember, my client had no knowledge that he allegedly missed a court date. He had no knowledge a writ was issued as explained above. Finally, there was an allegation that my client resisted arrest, which he refuses and has witnesses to support. He slipped off the curb and raised his arms to catch himself, and the officer subsequently slammed my client into the hood of the car. However, that is all Ms. Bednar needed to get an emergency custody order to take their daughter away from her father.
Horrible.
Horrible.
Yeah, just. Susan, I know you're busy, but do you or Cherie want to read? These are short ones, number 4 and 5. Well, 5's a little longer, but if not, that's fine. I'll go.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Number 5 or 4?
Number 4. Sorry.
4. Number 4.
On April 29th?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. On April 29th, 2019, Mr. Bednar appeared before Judge Collins. He advised the court he was not provided notice of an April 17, 2019 hearing, that no return of service was filed, indicating he was served notice, that he had filed a bankruptcy, that all matters in the case before her had been set on April 19th before Judge Hess, and that there was a bankruptcy hearing set for May 29th to stay collection proceedings. Consequently, Judge Collins then set aside the writ of special execution. Copy attached for your review.
So, and just so you guys are aware, if you, yeah, like he says, that's copied for your review or attached for your review. I recommend you're going to get to see also, which is attached, which is an exhibit that that the docket, Judge Collins' docket, is also included for proof of the things that he said. So let's see. I can read number 5. Let me check with chat and make sure we don't have any comments or questions. Kat says, if you're not a swearer, let your inner Clark. I love you so much, Kat. Let your inner Clark Griswold out. Where's the Tylenol? Yes. There's a Kat. You don't know about my porn friends. Can you?
I'll report them.
Okay.
I'll report them.
All right. Thank you. Yeah, I'm so glad to have you here, Kat, keeping the comedy for me. But I am a swearer. But yes, I will. I'll try to keep the Tylenol question in mind. Okay, so number 5. To add insult to injury, like enough hasn't been done, ADA Aaron Etherington presented an order to release my client's appearance bond of $1,000 to Judge Kerr on May 13, 2019, which was 14 days after the writ had been set aside. Judge Kerr likely pro forma signed the order, which was not filed in the case until May 30th, 2019. Further, ADA Etherington did not set this motion for hearing, provide my client the required 23 days to respond as per local court rule 11. He simply presented an order for signature and took my client's bond money. On another note, while attending a review hearing in the domestic case last week, I noticed ADA Rimillard talking at length with Ms. Bednar and her attorney. So she also observed the proceedings before Judge McGuire. I was curious why she was there and wanted to know if there was something she needed from my client or if there were other warrants or something we needed to address. Since it was Friday, I didn't want a repeat performance of Not So Good Friday. And if that was the case, I would present my client and have his bondsman process him before the end of the day. I approached her to inquire, and she was extremely rude, advising me she would not speak with me. That is not the professional demeanor I would expect of any lawyer, let alone someone representing your office and the county. Upon review of this information and attached documents, I would appreciate the opportunity to sit down with you and determine if we can sort these issues out. I will be in Tulsa this afternoon through Saturday, but am fairly open on Monday. Please advise if there is a time Monday I can meet with you to discuss the above. Sincerely, Noel K. Tucker. So, wow.
Yeah, wow, indeed.
Wow. Yeah. And then this is I'm not going to stop and look, but this is the docket for April, Judge April Collins, that you can sit down and review yourself when you get the chance, when you go through this letter yourself. So here again, we're talking about, near the end of this letter, he's talking about, approaching his ex-wife's attorney saying, hey, if there's something that, something else we need to hear, let's do it now before the weekend, and make sure that we can, get it all settled. I'll present my client right now. And his ex-wife's attorney was, according to Mr. Tucker, very, very rude and unprofessional with him for no reason. So, just, we have some new folks that looks like have just popped in. Barb, it is so great to see you. Really, really good to see you. Thanks for coming in. And TTM Fangirl, how you doing, girl? So that's just the first letter or email that was sent to Mr. Prater on Alex Bedner's behalf. Any comments or questions or swears you want to say or share? Okay, we can move along. So I don't know exactly if this is, I know this was just one of several emails that we wanted to share, but this is actually an email that was sent from Alex Bedner to David Prater. So, by this time, this was sent on September 4th of 2019. So by this time, Mr. Bedner's, pretty well been screwed over as much as you think, he could possibly be. But Alex Bedner is going to discuss with David Prater, how he's feeling about what had happened. And a lot of it's kind of the same stuff as what Mr. Tucker had said, but there's other things as he kind of what's the word I want to use? He kind of goes into a little more detail about some that alleges in the letter that he wrote.
That lawyer, for clarity, he really needed to put that kind of in a table as to the series of events. That would have clarified it a lot better, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and in a little while, after we get done with this second email, I'm going to share a website with you guys, where some of us who have been working on Daniel's case for a while, that I thought about this, Dr. Silkman, but there's no way I could possibly say it. It would be criminal for me to say it. But I know how much TTM Fangirl loves that. So thank you, Dr. Silkman, for satisfying that for TTM Fangirl. So anyway, I'm going to share this website. Anyway, it's a website where I kind of started, Cherie and I had kind of started getting information from earlier this year, after very, very shortly after Henderson was exposed. Oh, that was Jack. Q Jack.
What?
Oh my God, I cannot believe it. Susan, can you believe that? When I said that this is about the time that Henderson was exposed, Q Jack, and he missed it. He completely missed the opportunity. Oh, that was so sad.
That's what she said.
There you go.
There you go. Okay, now we can move on. Anyway, so I'll share that website with you. And what I'm trying to do here is we're going to try to, I've got you this document, and I'm going to read these two emails to kind of spare you, maybe. I'm not trying to be rude, but it's a very colorful website, so your eyes can get tired very quickly, but you'll see when you go. Well, I'll share it with you here too, but you'll see when I share it what I mean by that. So I'm going to go ahead and start with, this isn't broken down by numbers like the first one was, so I'll just read and then I'll just say, who wants to take over, and we'll just go that way.
You made to read page 23 first?
Yes, please do. Sorry, I forgot. Thank you, Jack.
That's okay. Okay, so this is Exhibit 2, September 4th, 2019, email to David Prater identifying widespread ex parte communications between DAs and judges and a pattern and practice of corruption, and notice to safeguard all communications between DAs, attorneys, and sitting judges, with Exhibit 1 attached to email.
Thank you. Jack, you want to go ahead and start this one? And then just, when you're ready, let me know and someone else can take over.
Okay, I'll read for a bit here, then I'll let somebody else can take it.
Okay. Is this big enough for you? It's kind of a bad copy.
I've got my own copy.
Oh,
I can't. Okay. I don't see anything on the screen yet.
Oh, geez. Okay. Oh, did I not share? Oh, because I'm not sharing it.
I guess that's why I don't see anything on the screen. Yeah. I've got it on my phone, so I didn't see anything open yet.
Okay. Sorry.
This is page 24 of the document. So, all right, I'll start it off here. David, when you were elected, I knew that you would provide ethical and appropriate leadership, and that you would instill in your staff a respect for both attorney ethical guidelines and canons of judicial conduct. I pray and have confidence that you will take immediate action regarding the issues below in this email that involve unethical, illegal action. In the last several months, I have experienced numerous ethical violations and concerning conduct by your attorney staff that do not appear to have been addressed and resolved, as well as new conduct that is extremely disturbing. I'm attaching the letter that Noel Tucker wrote to you on June 19, 2019, and am not sure whether you received it or not, as I was told that you were not able to meet with her and discuss her concerns about the actions of Carl Remillard and Aaron Etherington that appear to her to possibly warrant bar complaints. I'll read one more section here and then I'll turn it over. I am concerned about the actions of Rob McGlatchy, as well as the two DAs mentioned above. In addition to the letter attached, Aaron Etherington had an ex parte discussion with Judge Kerr about both my criminal and civil cases without me present, and discussed...
Whoa. Sorry, Jack.
Yep.
Does that sound familiar?
Ex parte meetings in Oklahoma?
Ex parte meetings without the defendant present.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Sure does. Yep.
Okay. Sorry, carry
Absolutely.
on.
That's okay. With both my criminal and civil cases without me present, and discuss the ex parte motion and order that Aaron filed on April 29 in CJA-2015-192, and the order she procured ex parte from Judge Kerr on May 13th, and that she held onto until May 30th, 2019, essentially stealing my funds, $1,000, and with an ex parte order. Ex parte communications are not only forbidden by Title V attorney guidelines and the judicial canons, but also local rules for Oklahoma and Canadian counties.
Oh.
Ding.
Yeah. What is the prize for that? It's actually crazy. So, and we're talking about, different judges from another county that committed these ex parte hearings without the defendant present. And they stole his $1,000. This man is poor now. He has nothing. He's basically homeless, living on the street because they've impounded his vehicle. And I don't know, by that time he might have had his car back, but it doesn't matter.
He probably had to pay a fortune to get it out of impound, storage fees and all that. Yeah. No telling if it got broke into. I mean, I'm going off the train tracks here. I'm just saying though,
I know, dude. I know.
Poor guy. Yeah. Poor guy. God.
Yeah. Cherie or Susan, do either of you want to read? I know it's up to you, Susan. It's because your time limits, but
Oh, I'm fine now. I got my cookies out of the oven.
Oh, sweet. I can smell them. They smell fabulous.
Oh my God, they're so good. Yeah.
Okay, well, just read until you want a break, and then we'll.
Okay.
Did you guys Did you catch the Roberta Russell? Get rid of them. Get rid of the comment and get them reported for me, please. Mods. Okay.
Oh, I think Alice got Alice or one of them took care of it. They're gone. Awesome. It's done. Oh,
awesome. Thanks, you guys. I'm so. I don't know why I'm being attacked, but whatever. Go ahead.
Your office has somehow seen fit to charge me with a misdemeanor stemming from Ms. Etherington and Ms. Remillard convincing new Judge April Collins to issue a warrant for me in civil case CJ 2015-192 in violation of the law found at 21 OS 567, requirement of notice, arraignment, choice of jury trial, etc., prior to issuing an order of confinement for indirect contempt of court. I was an officer of the courts, and I was not contacted prior to their seeking to have me arrested for missing civil court. The orders they provided to Judge Collins were voided. Void ab initio.
Yeah.
Were spiteful, retaliatory, and their actions are an abuse of their relationship with the judges and the sheriff whom they represent. Someone later misused a court clerk stamp with the number 04 and or backdated the first return of service in my civil case, with Ms. Remillard publishing it to the 10th Circuit, knowing the 10th Circuit would be relying upon the false document. To date, Carl Remillard has failed to notify the 10th Circuit that Exhibit 73-8 in her filing on April 30th, 2019, in 10th Circuit BAP Case 18-99 is not a document filed in CJ 2015-192 in violation of her duty of candor to that tribunal. I am concerned that no one in your office has directed Carl Remillard to notify the 10th Circuit BAP in Case 18-99 that on April 30th, 2019, her exhibit to her file document number 73, which bears court clerk stamp 04, and that purports to be a return of service in Case CJ 2015-192, is actually not a valid document in that case.
Just one correction, Susan. That's Carrie Remillard, not Carl.
I was just going to say, in case anybody wanted to research, it's Carrie.
I thought it was Carl too when I first looked at it, but I saw, oh shit, that's a dot. Yeah, it's Carrie.
Yeah. That's an I. Okay.
Yeah. They're both female attorneys, so.
Yeah. I was wondering, a woman named Carl.
You're like, what? Like a boy named Sue?
Yeah.
Boy named Sue. How do you do?
Oh gosh. Okay. Anybody? Yeah. Did you want to break, Susan? Cherie, do you want to read at all?
Not right now. Jim is playing music, so.
Oh, okay. All right.
I can get down with some music. No, I'm kidding.
But I'm already in trouble with copyright stuff, so.
I'll continue.
Okay.
On July 18, 2019, I attempted to get from the DA's office all documents regarding the misdemeanor case against me, case CM 2019-1723. Your DA, Rob McClatchy, refused to speak to me and refused to give me documents supporting the case that morning. Rob had told the young female DA in the courtroom that she was not to handle my misdemeanor case, as he was in charge, according to her words to me. I was present before Judge Elizabeth Kerr the morning of July 18, 2019, attempting to set a motion for discovery in CM 2019-1723 I had just filed, and was told by Judge Kerr that Rob had instructed her to set my case for trial. I'll pause there.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Cherie, can you do me a favor if you don't mind? And I don't know if you remember it or not, but there's a video, a television interview with Alex Bednar, and I can't remember which news station it was.
I can try to find it. Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Do you remember it?
Vaguely, yeah.
Okay. I actually might have it. I might actually have it recorded in my drive, but I'm not sure. Anyway, if you can do that, that would be great. Okay, let's see. Oh, these stupid jerk pigs. Smart Duck, welcome. Hello, how are you? It's so great to see you. Thank you for coming.
Wow, Smart Duck.
I know. I feel so special today.
And smart.
And smart. And this was where you left off. Is that right? To set my case for trial. Yeah. Okay. Does anybody in the chat have any questions or comments, Jack or Susan or Cherie or anybody?
No, I think everybody's just listening, taking it all in. Okay. I haven't really seen any.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah. Okay. So he continues, I was not present when any DA or Mr. McClatchy had spoken to Judge Kerr about setting that case for trial. When I told Judge Kerr that Mr. McClatchy was refusing to talk to me, she texted Rob McClatchy in front of me, and he texted her back about my case as he was upstairs in the DA's office. I can't believe the judges in Oklahoma County simply are comfortable to be having ex parte communications with DAs in front of defendants and attorneys at the bench. Judge Kerr did not show me her text to Rob McClatchy about my case, and Mr. McClatchy has still not returned my messages from June 2019, 3 months later. When Mr. McClatchy came down and told me he was going to talk to the judge about my case without me present, and he directed me to stand away from him so I could not hear their conversation about me. You cannot make this shit up, you guys.
I'm telling you, it's fucking awful. It's awful.
Just
God.
blows my mind.
I'm going to talk to the judge, but you can't be a part of it.
Yeah,
but it's your case.
Judge about you, but you can't hear it. Yeah, just mind boggles the mind. Oh, Mr. McClatchy her to set my case for trial, and she did, and told her that he wanted a Ferretta hearing in the misdemeanor case CM 1917-23, 1723, and for Judge Kerr not to allow me discovery, as she confirmed that was what they discussed between the two of them outside of my presence. God. It just blows my mind. Jack or Susan or Cherie, do you guys know what a Ferretta hearing is? I
don't.
I don't know. Cherie might.
Cherie, what's a Ferretta hearing? Do you know?
No, I'd have to look it up. It might be something special, or to Oklahoma.
I'm gonna look it up right now.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna show this one for sure.
Something about not allowing discovery, possibly.
Yeah.
Ferretta v. California was a case in which the Supreme Court of the United States held that criminal defendants have a constitutional right to refuse counsel and represent themselves in state criminal proceedings.
Sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry, that was me.
That was it.
Oh, okay.
It was just a little blurb there in Google. There's more to it. There's a Wikipedia page and all that. I can link.
It's not it's not just Oklahoma then if it's in California. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Supreme Court ruling.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, I had never heard that before, and I was like, I'm trying to get a video ready to share with you guys in a few minutes too, really quick, but and then I'll carry on. Okay, let me just carry on now. Sorry. How are we doing in chat there, guys? Any more perverts?
I haven't seen any of those. The truth about Daniel Holtzclaw, a Ferretta hearing, is a pretrial hearing designed to determine whether an individual who is seeking to represent himself or herself at trial is voluntarily waiving his or her right to counsel. There you go.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate that. Um, yeah, okay. All right. So let me get back to my reading because I got a little astounded there. So outside my presence, Judge Kerr also mentioned having spoken to Judge Palumbo about my case. Judge Palumbo indicated on the record that she had spoken to Judge McGuire. There's all these freaking judges and attorneys. It's insane.
How many judges are involved? I mean, it's like six judges here.
Yeah,
and five freaking DAs. It's terrible.
It's insane. It makes it so hard. I mean,
it makes it difficult to follow.
Yeah,
it really does.
Really, I can't even. I give a lot of credit to Mr. Bednar for being able to. Obviously, he took very close stock of his cases and all of that stuff because this is insane.
Just it crazy. Is.
Oh, okay, so Judge Palumbo that she had spoken to McGuire about my divorce case. Now I don't know, but it doesn't seem like that's. How can two different judges confer about two different cases on the same subject or suspect or whatever you want to call Mr. Bednar, a defendant, I guess? That doesn't seem right to me.
Me neither. No, not at all.
They're all talking to each other about him.
Yeah. And that's just wrong.
Him, I think.
Well, yeah, no doubt. I'm next. No, I'm next.
Yeah.
No, I've got a number here. Yeah. I've got the criminal stuff. I'm next. Okay. Fine.
Yeah, it's just crazy. Insane. Okay, so I am concerned your DAs are influencing judges in a calculated fashion to specifically harm me. I know you have children, and your DA's actions have compromised my ability to spend time with my daughter. Carrie Remillard and Aaron Etherington have been communicating with my ex-wife's divorce attorney and sharing information to harm me and my ability to see my daughter, to include arresting me unlawfully in front of his daughter. That calculated arrest occurred when Judge McGuire, my divorce judge, was the duty judge, and I understand that either Miss Etherington or Miss Remillard were communicating with Judge McGuire between April 17th, 2019 and April 29th, 2019.
25th.
25th. Oh, 25th, I'm sorry. 25th, 2019, with the intent to help Jill Bednar take away my ability to see or speak with my daughter and use the unlawful arrest as a reason to keep me from my child. This conduct is unethical, inappropriate, and egregious, and I'm writing to alert you of it at this time. Yeah.
Wow.
It's
mind-blowing to me, and I want to say some cuss words, but I'm going to refrain.
You can say whatever you want. I mean, that's fine.
I'll just call them color. No, I'll be respectful. I'll just call them colorful metaphors and just leave it at that. You mean to continue? Is there any questions, or would you mean to continue?
Let me look through some comments and things here real quick, if you don't mind.
Sure.
TTM Fangirl says, dingoes, so long as they don't eat me. I think she must be referring to a conversation with Dr. Soapman about Australia.
Well, I've had this conversation with Dr. Soapman. Pretty much everything in Australia either is going to kill you or has a plan to. I'm just saying, and even if you run from them and get in the ocean, there's these little tiny octopi there, and they're like, they're tiny, and they've got some of the strongest poison in the world. Just a little bit of it will kill 50 people. So that's out.
Oh. Wonder how we can get that in the DA's office in Oklahoma. Just kidding. Oh God, YouTube's I know I'm definitely gonna get a strike. I was just kidding.
Well, I know I'm going straight to hell already, but we can throw a few of those in a couple of offices in Wisconsin. And Are we live? We're live right now. I didn't mean that.
Yeah, we're live. We're just joking. We're just joking. Google.
Yeah, just kidding.
We would never do things like that. We won't talk about stories I shared with Jack and Susan yesterday. Anyway,
you want me to continue?
Carry on before I get into trouble.
I'll read a few more of these.
Okay.
There was no motion on file on July 18, 2019 from Mr. McClatchy, but Judge Kerr nevertheless just did what Mr. McClatchy directed. After their private discussion about me, Mr. McClatchy left without talking to me, and I was motioned to Judge Kerr, where she told me their decision to prevent me from being able to litigate or get documents about the misdemeanor case. CM 1917-23, just before trial. David, I cannot imagine that you would be allowing your DA, who is the head of the misdemeanors, and your civil DAs to be involved in a culture of ex parte communications and a brazen confidence to control and direct special judges to issue orders they discuss ex parte with judges at a DA's direction and bias for the DA's prosecution. I know you are keenly aware that Title V prohibits the widespread conduct that is described in Noel's letter attached, which Mr. McClatchy recovered or received from the email address listed. Yet Mr. McClatchy and the DA listed above have continued a pattern of unethical conduct, triggering your duty to have them investigated by the Bar Association and to address what is evidently a pattern of corruption in the Oklahoma County Courthouse.
One other thing that I recognized a few paragraphs back, it's not Noel Tucker, it's Noel. Noel.
Yeah, it is. It is. No,
yeah,
yes, Noel.
Another woman. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not just men in this case, but yeah, anyway. So, okay. Did you want
and
me to
they were being hit on by Henderson, right?
Yeah, probably. I know some of them were.
I'll read this underlined section, and Susan can take over if she wants.
Okay. This is going to be this is the last page of the email. So.
Okay. As a result of the egregious conduct above, David, please immediately take notice that his email is a notice for the District Attorney's Office of Oklahoma County to safeguard all electronic communications between Mr. McClatchy's phone and Judge Kerr's phone, Aaron Etherington's phone, and Carrie Remelard's phone, and Judges Kerr and McGuire between the dates of April 27 through the 25th of 2019, and to protect all such communications from being deleted. Please secure all district attorneys' cell phones to determine the extent of corruption between DAs and judges, and to determine immediately how many criminal cases are being impacted by ex parte, unlawful communications between DAs and judges. I intend to not only assert my constitutional rights, but also the rights of other citizens who likely have been compromised by the pattern of corruption.
Now, when
Daniel Holtzclaw.
Yeah, when Daniel's, when they held that ex parte meeting without Daniel's lawyers, that actually made the news, did it not?
Yes.
Yes.
And nothing was done about it, correct?
Okay.
No.
Unbelievable.
I have one more question before Susan continues. And didn't you show this clip from the courtroom where they were showing some of these actions?
The clip?
Yes, wasn't there a clip of?
Oh yeah, I have a little in a couple of videos that I made. I showed
it shows what what they did there in the courtroom while he was in there.
Who, Bednar?
Yeah. Oh. Am I thinking of the wrong case?
Oh, I haven't seen that.
I don't know if I did or not, but I do have a little video that Cherie did find for me that I'm not sure if it's the one I was thinking of, but I'm sure it's and so maybe
I'm sure that
I did when Henderson, when this all first dropped about Henderson, I showed a video, several videos. You could actually go back to that Henderson breaking news video, the very first one, and see the clips that I had taken from the local news stations. and that might be what you're talking about.
I'm sure that it showed this guy and the actions of, because they were talking about, I remember specifically talking about these dates being moved around in that video. Unless, I'm sure. Anyway, we can talk about that later.
If somebody wants to,
Shaz says she remembers too.
Yeah, I'm going to look in my drive because I think I know what you're talking about. So
okay,
if somebody wants to finish that last little bit of this, that last paragraph or two, okay. I'll look for the video.
Okay, I'll do it. Rob McClatchy's cell phone and Judge Elizabeth Kerr's cell phone will confirm that on the morning of July 18, 2019, before 11 a.m., Mr. McClatchy was involved in a series of text messages with Judge Elizabeth Kerr. This should not be occurring in any courthouse in America, David. I expect that a neutral law enforcement body such as the OSBI will be immediately contacted to commence the investigation into corruption that I have personally witnessed and experienced and documented. The Oklahoma County Sheriff should not be asked to investigate the above concerns, as your office represents the sheriff, and as many judges have intertwined relationships with the sheriffs who are stationed at the Oklahoma County Courthouse. A violation of a statute, if not defined, is a misdemeanor, as you know. David, I am a victim of criminal acts being perpetrated by persons under your watch. Please contact me to discuss this issue on an expedited basis, as I know you will want to remedy the situation immediately. Alex.
Yeah, that's just, I don't know about everybody else in chat or anywhere else, but I just, it's just, it makes me sick. What they've done.
Well, I think your title says it in your video. You can't make this shut up. You literally can't.
You can't.
Can you imagine watching? A documentary or even a fictional movie where you have this guy that's being handled by 4 or 5 judges, at least 3 or 4 ADAs, whatever, under the one guise of a DA that's supposed to be doing all this ethical crap, and they're going after this guy for whatever reason, and it doesn't matter. The reason doesn't matter. They're going after him.
Yeah, that's right. It's
and blatantly.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not hiding it at all.
Right, and the only way that they could be doing that is if they know that they can get away with it because they all got each other's backs. That's the only way they know that they can.
Exactly right.
It's.
So how long have they been getting away with it?
Right.
Right. They've been doing it.
Right.
They didn't just start with him because they're too good at it.
Yeah. Exactly. And then again, and so then that starts to go to the whole, affairs with the ADA, or affairs or sexual assaults or whatever it was that Henderson was doing, or all the women he was involved with. I mean, it's obvious that, well, it seems obvious to me that, they all knew what Henderson was doing, and whether these acts, these sexual acts with the ADAs, the female ADAs, and defense attorneys, which may or may not ever come forward, they knew, they had to have known about it. Well, they were, because clearly Justin Humphrey's letter brings it to Stitt's attention for sure. So they know about it, and they have to, for whatever reason, whether it's if they have stuff on each other or whatever, something, because they know they're going to get away with those things. And they still are. And I believe that, even if it was before, here I go with my Bob Macy speech again, even if it happened before Bob Macy, which I don't know because I haven't gotten that far back, but this is a pattern of misconduct, at least going back to Bob Macy, when he was the district attorney. So, they know who to talk to. They know who to be, whose back pockets to get into. And it's gross. It's disgusting. And it's ruining lives, and it's really hard to take in and, accept.
Then, you look at I guess I'll look at the bigger picture of this as well. It's kind of like looking at, we did this comparison before, but looking at the Avery and Dassey case, and then surround that with what they allowed Gregory Allen to get away with.
Right.
There's a bigger picture there. It's not completely tied to Avery. I mean, they'll always be a little bit tied together because of the 85 case, but the same players are still involved. That's the main thing, and that's what you got here. You got these players that are involved not only in Bedker's case.
Yep.
These people are involved probably in some fashion in Daniel's case. So what are they doing in that? Are they communicating? Are they talking about him? And DAs on top of that, to add to that.
Yes. Yep. ADAs, DAs, judges, clerks, court clerks.
Clerks. Couple of clerks there. Yep.
Yeah. It's I'm gonna see if I can find my really quickly here I've been doing it while we've been chatting anyway, but I'm gonna see if I can find the Henderson breaking news one that we did way back in March or April, whenever we exposed that, and because I know what I know which video clips you're talking about, and it was in that one for sure, because I remember spending that day trying to work on putting them all together.
Right.
So let's see.
I can't. I don't think it was like a really long clip. It seemed like it was a couple minutes, maybe 3. It's been a while. I can't remember entirely, but I just remember showing inside the courtroom and the movements of some of these people and what they were doing.
Yeah, I think that's okay. I found the video, but let me just show you for now. I'll show you the. Whoops, I've lost track of where that comment is to get it out of there. So sorry, truth. There we go. Bad things only stay in the media for one cycle. It's like they have to report it, but they don't want to report it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then to follow with, I guess they are more concerned with keeping a good relationship so they can get juicy details, even if they're false. Oh yeah, bunch of gossip. I know a bunch of gossip whores. This is what it is. and they if they can find a way to make it
salacious,
salacious, and to fit it, dirty, to fit into a case that they're doing or a case that's coming up, then they're all too happy to do it.
Well, of course, that makes their cash register run faster. The big media machine.
Yep. Oh, Cherie's got it there. I think
but I'm not totally shocked that while you're looking for that, I'm not totally shocked that some of the stuff hasn't really been picked up on as hard. The Henderson case. My God, in other places of the country, that would have blown the media completely apart. Not there. Oh no, we don't want to talk about these guys because,
Yeah, I know, and that's why I'm trying to. But I think Jack and I figured it out today. But that's why I'm trying to get as much information as I can of these documents that are public record now to share. Any way that I can. And the only thing I can think of, because I rarely get on Facebook at all, is to tweet this stuff. And
we got that figured out in Twitter, so you can do it now.
Now I think I've got it figured out how I can share these documents in Twitter.
Yeah, you should be good.
Yeah, so we have we have my video from March 27th that I think that the clip is in that you're talking about, Jack. So let me.
Back that far? March 27th? Is it back that far?
Yeah, that's when the news about Henderson broke. Yeah.
God, where all the time go?
I don't know.
Seriously.
I don't know.
Seriously, just, I mean, I believe you, but I'm just saying it. You're talking about, basically, what, 9 months ago?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so when you think about that, and you realize that nothing has really been done about Henderson, it pisses me off. But that's why now being able to share all of these documents that have been uncovered that are factual, in whatever forum that they are in, is such a big deal, because now we're finally starting to get some some proof of this corruption. So that's I want to take advantage of that as much as I can.
Absolutely.
Obviously.
I only hope we'll see charges soon on him.
Yes.
Damn straight. Not just on this guy, but I mean, to me, it sounds to me like there's some ADAs that need to be talked.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're investigating all of it. I hope.
Yes, I hope so. And that, so what was it, November 2nd or 3rd that Justin Humphrey sent the letter to Stitt urging him
to take action.
To take action and investigate this stuff. Yeah. And as far as I know, people that I know in Oklahoma, still nothing has come of that yet. So what are you going to do? We have to email. I emailed doctor. Oh, good God. I emailed Governor Stitt this last week. I think it was Wednesday or Thursday last week. And I said, I know that you got this letter. I have the letter in my possession that you got from Representative Humphrey of House of Representatives. And to my knowledge, you haven't done anything yet. Are you going to do anything?
It's just hard to fathom, even, I mean, I know Oklahoma's not that populated, but there's still a lot of people that live there. How is there not like an independent news organization? Is just, they just report what they know. They're not politically tied one way or the other.
Well, the Oklahoman is incredibly politically tied.
Oh my God! Yes.
I don't know that exists anymore.
Yeah,
really.
Honestly, I haven't really seen any of the local news channels that I feel like are, unbiased in any way. And again, that's the norm now. But there is a website that reports, and I believe it's called NonDoc, and they are all about putting the truth out there. So
just reporting what they know. They're not, like I'm saying, they're not driving down one side of the tracks or the other, straight down the middle. Yeah. No agenda, just except for an informed public. The
only agenda they have is the truth. And
right.
I mean, I don't know. They're journalists, so I just like the court systems and everything else. I've become so jaded, and I'm the same way with journalists. But when I read stuff from NonDoc, I'm like, hell yeah! So
I'll check that out.
Yeah, definitely check out NonDoc.
We need to. You know what? We need to get audit to auditor on these damn people.
I know.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
They probably would just quit. They're probably like, no, we're done.
We can't do that. We can't compete.
Yeah, we're done.
Yeah, they need to get some of the auditors out in Oklahoma City, to start following these yahoos around from their offices at the courthouse or wherever their offices are. Start following them, getting video pictures of their whatever, So, yeah. The truth about Daniel Holtzclaw says it's a pattern of bad practices going back to Bob Macy using the OCPD crime lab to aid. Yeah, yep. Exactly. It's not just me that talks about Bob Macy, and we are going to do a Bob Macy show someday.
Good.
Because it's just a thing. It's a true thing. So, And the next comment is documents support the practices of officers being promoted through the ranks by participating in bad acts as they have been trained.
Boy, that sounds familiar.
Yeah.
What? Oh, yeah. I know what another big case that happened then.
Yeah, exactly.
Jesus.
And yeah, I agree. You know, even if the auditors did, they would get arrested. They would. Obviously, Oklahoma has no problem violating someone's civil rights.
No, no problem whatsoever.
So yeah, they would have no problem arresting them, and God help Oklahoma if David Prater is or if I always say that because they are just one and the same to me. But God help Oklahoma. You have got to be kidding me. You have got to be kidding me. Is that for real? Oklahoma passed a law that you can't photograph law enforcement? Are you kidding me?
That sounds like it's violating.
That's a First Amendment right.
Yeah. Yep.
And the Supreme Court ruled on that. So they cannot, the state, oh my God, I did not need to see that tonight. That is a Supreme Court ruling that law enforcement can be recorded.
Absolutely.
Doing their job. Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely. That is some crazy bullshit. I can't even deal with that shit right now. That's just crazy. Okay, she's it's being challenged. Calm down, Rhonda.
Take your Xanax. Come on.
Jesus, that just pissed me off.
Take a whole one.
It has to be challenged because the Supreme Court ruled on it that it was allowable. So freaking Oklahoma, I don't know who you guys think you are, but you cannot supersede. Your laws cannot supersede a Supreme Court ruling. So
it sounds to me like the Bill of Rights, the first 10 amendments of our Constitution, really kind of don't count there, except for some people.
Right, depending on who you are.
It's very selective, so you need to check the list, okay?
Yeah, definitely. I don't recall says, I wonder if there are any books that shine a light on the history before Bob Macy and Company. I've tried to look for something, but I've been too busy with other stuff. But I've been trying to find something because we're going to do a good show on Bob Macy after the new year. And boy, just the great news just keeps on coming. Oklahomans can also run over protesters.
You need to put up a disclaimer that people should buy, a bottle to a Pepto before the show.
Oh God, yeah.
He's a piece of work. That guy's a piece of work now.
God, it's just mind-boggling. I can't even handle it. Jesus. Oh, okay. Well,
what's this video we're going to watch here?
Well, I think this is the one where that you're talking about, where we see the clips.
Okay.
Another comment. Yeah. This Governor Stitt loves all these laws. Why? Why would? I don't know. Okay, on to the video because I'm about to start swearing the bad words. I'm going to play a little bit of this. It's an hour and a half long, so an hour and 45 minutes. So clearly we don't need two of those tonight, but I'm pretty sure. Let's see how far we get. And then if it's not, then we'll cut it off.
Okay.
An Oklahoma County judge suspended and expected to resign after 3 female attorneys are coming forward with allegations of sexual misconduct.
You may remember the name Judge Timothy Henderson. He presided over the high-profile case against former Oklahoma City police officer Daniel Holtzclaw.
But tonight, he is now at the center of an investigation.
News 4's Austin Brissett has been busy. Here's the latest update.
Judge Tim Henderson is going to go from practicing as a district court judge one day and resigning the next day, which none of the community saw coming. This is obviously something that does not happen every day, nor does it happen every decade.
Oklahoma County District Court Judge Tim.
Sorry, I have to pause. So that last attorney you just looked at, Andrew Casey, he is representing one of the accusers in the civil suit. Just FYI.
Timothy Henderson in the hot seat. The Oklahoma County District Attorney now investigating. His 3 different co-workers come forward accusing the judge of sexual assault and misconduct.
You start to wonder about what happened. You start to feel a lot of emotions for the women that came forward.
All of us enjoyed practicing in front of Tim Henderson, and so right now we're just trying to figure out what to do next.
News 4.
Pause that for a second.
Administrative order issued by presiding district court judge.
Did you notice that newscaster said being charged by 3 co-workers? District attorneys not co-workers. They're completely separate. It's supposed to be.
Supposed to be.
They're not on the bench. I mean,
hang on. I don't think I caught that.
Yeah, right after that, somewhere right in there.
Okay, I'm sorry, guys. Chat,
Sexual
audience.
assault and misconduct.
You start to wonder about what happened. You start to feel a lot of emotions for the women that came forward.
All of us enjoyed practicing in front of
I think it was right before that.
So right now we're just trying to figure out what to do next.
News 4. Obtaining this administrative order.
Practicing as a district court judge one day and resigning the next day, which none of the community saw coming. This is obviously something that does not happen every day, nor does it happen every decade.
Oklahoma County District Court Judge Timothy Henderson in the hot seat. The Oklahoma County District Attorney now investigating as 3 different co-workers come forward using the...
Okay, that's what I thought he said. The Oklahoma County DA is investigating as 3 of his co-workers.
Okay, so it's a separate thing. That's what I want to make sure of.
Yeah, not the judge as the co-workers, but the DA as the co-workers.
Gotcha. Okay.
The judge of sexual assault and misconduct.
You start to wonder about what happened. You start to feel a lot of emotions for the women that came forward.
All of us enjoyed practicing in front of Tim Henderson, and so right now we're just trying to figure out what to do next.
News 4. Obtaining this administrative order issued by presiding district court judge Ray Elliott on Friday, suspending Henderson effective.
Ray Elliott's in the same bed, so a lot of good that will do. Sorry, I'm just trying to get to the... I might have went too far. I did.
From Henderson, though News 4 learned the director of courts expects to receive one by Monday. Now the question begs, what will happen with the cases he's overseen?
Reality says that you're looking at a minimal effect on most cases. Not every case gets reviewed just because a judge has to resign or gets called in for criminal accusations.
However, they say some could be affected, but that it's still too early to tell.
If one of those individuals was, prosecuting the case or involved in the case in some way, I would imagine that person would ask for relief.
There's way too many facts that we don't know.
Our Austin Brissett reporting for us. The Attorney General says Judge Henderson was presiding over our state's multi-county grand jury. A replacement nominee will be announced soon.
Okay. Yeah, I was echoing. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Oh, geez. Okay. Okay. Well, shoot. That might have been only. Oh, you know why you're thinking that, Jack? Because you were on that show with us that night.
Yep, so that's right.
It's not showing up in here, but I think I know the one that it was.
Yeah, you can find it another time. It's no big deal.
Well, I think it's this one right here that Cherie found for me. So I'm gonna. Gosh, damn it! You click on the damn thing before the damn ad plays, and it plays the damn ad. So sorry. Hold on 1 second. Okay, stop. And then it doesn't let you pause. Oh gosh, I hate this. These news channels are really frustrating. Okay, this is the one that I think you're talking about. Okay. Let me get there. But calm down.
Yeah, back out, Jack. Calm down.
Shut up, Jack. This isn't your StreamYard thing. You don't know how to use StreamYard.
You're right. I'm so lost.
I'm still trying to learn OBS. I'll get there someday. I'll grow up eventually. Okay. All right. So here we go on the one I know you're talking about.
Trial. The trial panel held he was unfit to be an attorney. And then on Tuesday, the Supreme Court disbarred him. but that didn't stop him from showing up to court today. In a scathing opinion, the Oklahoma Supreme Court said Bednar tried to justify some of the most egregious behaviors the court has encountered and found he violated over and over the rules of professional conduct attorneys must follow. Disbarred, he still tried to represent a client in court Friday morning.
Judge Henderson set a hearing for 10 o'clock this morning.
That hearing never happened. Bednar got into an argument with the prosecutor behind closed doors, then told us he wanted Judge Henderson off the case.
Last week, I asked him to recuse because I filed a federal lawsuit against him. And he has systematically, knowingly, and willfully abused his office to prevent me as a human being, me as a party, actually, access to the courts.
One reason he got disbarred? For filing frivolous lawsuits against judges.
So that this thing happened over and over and over, where reputation has been slandered. And
don't you think it has more to do with you suing all the judges?
Well, what do you know about that?
Well, I mean, I'm reading about your disbarment right now, and what you're telling me isn't quite what the trial panel found.
No, there's a whole there's a whole bunch of parts to this thing.
Allegations of fraud and deceit pour through the Supreme Court opinion, finding Bednar failed to competently represent his clients, harming numerous people and costing them money. Bednar still denies all of it.
It's very disturbing, some of the things that happened to me in that trial and what led up to it. And some very disturbing things that are the reasons why I am where I am, including what some judges did behind my back. And
Bednar says he'll be back in court Wednesday with this client, who is 10 days away from jury trial. The judge told News 4 Bednar will not be practicing in his courtroom. As part of his disbarment, the Supreme Court also ordered him to pay more than $20,000 to cover his court proceedings. Reporting in Oklahoma City, Abby Broyles, Oklahoma's News 4.
It's finally football season at Louis Grill and Bar. We're preparing fresh food.
I want to go to Louis.
Sorry. Yeah, so I don't know if that's the one you're talking about, Jack. I know there's one other one with Bednar, but I don't know if that's the one you.
Maybe I'm thinking of a different clip. No, this was inside the courtroom, and it showed movement of these different parties. But I'll find it at some point. It's not a big deal.
Okay. Yeah. Well, it's important to this topic, though. Because
it is. It's directly related. Yeah.
It is about exactly what what we've been talking about. Because he sits down with one of the news stations and has a conversation. And if I'm not mistaken, the attorney Irvin Box is also in the clip. I know that I have that clip somewhere, so it's really. I wonder if that's in the. Cherie, can you find that other the next clip that we did? Not clip, but the update on Henderson.
I can. Yeah.
It wasn't too much longer after the first one, so maybe because I think it might be in there anyway. So yeah, those are just. So let me kind of set the scene for this clip that you just saw. They're talking about Bednar having been disbarred. And he had been, but he showed up for court anyway to represent his client. He had been disbarred, and they were accusing him of. They claimed that he had clients who were accusing him of taking their money and not representing them properly. So that's just other parts that we didn't go over in the letter, the 73-page letter that we started out with tonight. So
I noticed that News Channel 3 there, when they were talking about it in that clip, they didn't. It was all, to me, it was really one-sided again.
Yeah. And Irvin Box, the one that I was the attorney Irvin Box, he's actually going to say in his clip, he said he's saying that, gives his interview and says that, we've been talking about these rumors about Henderson and his sexual assaults or escapades or whatever we're going to call them. Those rumors have been going around the courthouses for years.
Right.
So
no big deal. Everybody knew,
Yeah. He's like,
wow.
And Irvin Box makes some kind of comment like, well, so why is it just now coming out when it's, we've been talking about it for years already, or 2 years.
Sort of an open secret. And you would think that, to me, not knowing, this is just speculation on my part, thinking out loud that, these three have come forward. How many more are out there that are afraid to come forward or just not willing?
Yeah.
Well, so let me tell you, I know of at least one more person, and I'm going to try to think about, it must have, I don't remember which one it was. I showed you guys, I took a screenshot and showed it to you guys, that after one of the recent, had to have been Prater's, the video I did about Prater, but I had somebody, an anonymous, Oklahoma girl, anonymous, wanted to be anonymous, and I think she was going by the name OK Girl. She put a comment on that video. She's since deleted it, but she said, I have the screenshot, thank goodness. She said that everything that was being reported was true. And about Henderson, and she made it seem to me very much like she was a victim of Henderson. But I tried to, I was just like dying. I was like, look, and I sent the email to Daniel's defense team, or not the email, but the screenshot, and I sent it to Cherie. I'm pretty sure I shared it with you and Susan, and a few others, because I was just like, what? And I very gently tried to see if she would be willing, to talk to me privately in any possible way that, that she would
comfortable with.
To, and she left. She deleted her comment and never responded. So, and I understand, but apparently there's more than just
the three.
Those three, right?
Yeah.
And so, I'm trying to see if I can find the screenshot. I know I saved it. Doesn't matter. But anyway, so there's at least one.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
And I suspect there's probably many more, because.
Right. Well, it's like we said before. Henderson was a police officer. He was an attorney. Worked in the DA's office. So he didn't just wake up once he became a judge one day and say, God, I think I'm going to sexually assault some women.
No.
If he was right. If he was a cop, at some, point in his past, where he started out as a law enforcement officer, it's not right for me to assume or claim or say, but I would be willing to bet a little bit of money, because I don't have very much, but I would be willing to bet some money that there might be some allegations that would come out about him sexually assaulting somebody while he was a police officer.
Wouldn't shock me at all.
Wouldn't shock me. I look forward to it. And I hate saying that, because then it sounds like I don't care about,
a victim.
The victims. Of course I do. But, just anyway. So, there's just a ton in that letter. And I really hope. Now, I'm going to show you guys Kathy's website. And let me just get the link and drop it real quick. It's not really a big link. It's pretty simple. I'll just drop it in the chat really quick.
Okay. You can leave that in the description of the video.
And I'll put it in the description later. Yeah. Yep. I have a lot to put in the description tonight.
Yes, you do.
So let me share this screen with you. But a lot of the information, like I said, is stuff that Cherie and I had learned about by going through this website. Let's see here. Yeah. So it's pretty much like that all the way through, or worse. Let me just, oops, that's the wrong thing.
Good Lord.
It's really hard. we were really struggling to read some of the things because it's so busy. Like, it made me feel a lot better about the videos that I was creating because I tend to get too, over, put too many graphics.
Does she basically focus on Oklahoma?
Yes, it's Oklahoma. So
the corruption,
because she's got her own experiences. Yes, with Henderson, and I need to look back at a note really quick here. Sorry, I need to look at a note that I got today. This note that I got today that kind of tells the. Oh, thank you. Ooh, candy! My granddaughter just brought me candy. Oh,
how sweet!
I know. I have the best grandkids.
You have enough for the class, right?
No, so I'm going to wait till we're done till before I read it.
Yeah, but you bragged about it now, and now I haven't even had dinner yet. I want some candy now.
Sorry.
So, fine.
I haven't had dinner either. This will be my dinner. Okay. Yeah. So the note that I got today from somebody says Kathy apparently got screwed by Henderson, and I don't think that the note writer meant like physically necessarily.
Screwed over.
Screwed over. Yeah, maybe that's a better. Screwed over by Henderson and lost her house. She sat in his courtroom for years watching him do shady shit. She alleged he was having an affair with Cindy Trong, who was the judge who signed Daniel's arrest warrant and set a $5 million cash bond. So Bednar has been battling Oklahoma County for quite a while, and he has all these documents and recordings to support his allegations. So that's what Kathy's website is about. And if you can, if you're prone to like epileptic seizures or anything, you might not want to, but it really is full. She really does have that website full of a lot of useful information. And we just never came forward with it at the time because we didn't know we just didn't know for sure what to think about Bednar because, the Oklahoma County, is that the one, Cherie? I bet it is. Okay, it has.
This is a really, really, really bright and busy. Oh, dear.
Yeah, it's really hard to look at. But that's where we got all this information about Alex Bednar and the 73-page letter and all the emails and everything. But the reason we were really, really careful about talking about it was because even though we don't trust mainstream media or really any media, they had made him out to be like this crazy attorney who's been disbarred, and he just all these things that they said. And so as far as Daniel's case was concerned, we wanted to be really careful about talking about Alex Bednar's allegations because we weren't sure how to take him. Now, I had contact with Alex Bednar via a comment that I had made, I think, on News 9 in Oklahoma, talking about, why aren't we hearing more about Henderson and what these allegations, and we need to know more. Why can't we? And then I get a response from I got a response from somebody with the screen name John Denver, and he just gives me this really obscure case number, and I was like, what kind of case number is that? And so I shared it with Cherie and with Daniel's team, and I finally was able to figure out that it was a help me out, Cherie. A federal case that had gone to the federal courts, I believe.
Oh, so it was in Pacer.
So it was in Pacer, yes. And so I finally figured it out, and that was when I ended up buying, Pacer service because I was like, I need more. And oh my God, that was another whole level of shit.
They did the backdating and that too, like changing the dates on things and, saying that, oh no, we never got, such and such motion. And when the court the court clerk had stamped it or something. I can't remember, but it was obvious they did.
Yep.
Wow.
But we just sat on it because we didn't know if, because of what the media was portraying, in other court documents that we were reading, what they were saying about Alex Bednar, we were like, if any of the stuff that they're saying about Bednar is true, we can't use any of this for Dan, to possibly help Daniel. So we didn't. We just sat on it. But now, now we have proof. So, and so the truth says it seems like there is a search bar on Kathy's website.
I'm looking right now.
Okay. Yeah, because it's really hard to navigate through otherwise. And once we got the information,
there is. Yeah, if you start at the beginning, it'll take you to another page, or another page opens, and there's a little search magnifier that says what you're looking for. Awesome.
Yeah. So that's probably the best way to go in there and get any information, so you don't spend time scrolling, because it's pretty difficult. Okay, here's the video my amazing Cherie found for us. I'm very lucky to have Cherie. We're all very lucky.
She's awesome. She really is.
It's finally football season.
First gotta go through this.
I want to go back to Louis. I'm in. Let's go.
World famous pizzas, burgers,
look at there.
Salads, wings, and
Get
more.
Doc some pizza.
Kick things off.
This is the reason that I always recorded these video clips, because of these ads.
All right, David, in the news, two
I'm not
attorneys say
drinking
they suffered
PBR.
sexual misconduct at the hands of a recently resigned Oklahoma County district judge.
They detailed their claims to the OSBI in a newly unsealed search warrant. News 9's Sylvia Corkill is live at OSBI tonight. Sylvia?
Kelly, Amanda, according to two of the three attorneys who have come forward, Timothy Henderson was a mentor figure who later started to grope and even kiss the new attorneys. After serving as an Oklahoma County district judge since 2012, as well as the judge over the state's multi-county grand jury, a string of sexual misconduct allegations forced Judge Timothy Henderson off the bench.
I think it's like the worst kept secret in the Oklahoma County Courthouse.
The judge who once presided over several high-profile criminal cases, including convicted serial rapist and former Oklahoma City police officer Daniel Holtzclaw, is now accused of sexually battering three attorneys. In these documents, one of his accusers told OSBI investigators she started working in Henderson's courtroom back in 2015. She said initially he was like a mentor to her. He was well-liked and respected. Then in 2016, things changed.
There were some rumors these were going on for like 2 to 3 years ago.
According to court filings, she said Henderson began touching her over and under her clothes, and that he would sometimes strip down to his white brief-style underwear. Another attorney shared a similar account with investigators. Documents show both women claim Henderson eventually penetrated them with his fingers, and that he communicated with them almost exclusively by email. Also, according to investigators, his accusers said they were left shaken, terrified, and felt their career would be ruined. Now, according to court documents, the alleged incidents took place in and outside of the courthouse. OSBI agents are now reviewing Henderson's emails ranging from 2015 to 2021. Live from OSBI headquarters, Sylvia Corkill, Oklahoma's Own, News 9.
Wow.
Rhonda, the image of Henderson and his tidy whities makes you sick.
Yes.
Yeah, even his brace, his boxer brace.
That's disgusting.
Maybe he's going to do a calendar. Maybe he'll do a calendar.
Oh, maybe you can kiss my ass, because
You want me to stop? You want me to stop while I'm behind?
Yeah. Yeah. So that's all I have the energy to talk about. Hopefully I was able to share the information that I was asked to share today. But I can't tell you anything else other than just please. I'll get that description in within the next hour or less if I can, and I will. I just would love for you guys to go over it and read it, and please please leave comments on this video.
Oh, I'm looking here at Kathy's side. I just typed, like I did what Truth was talking about. I just typed in Henderson. Holy God.
Oh, on Henderson?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
There's probably 10 or 12 articles just right off the bat here.
Right. And for all I know, it's been updated since I last looked at it. Because like I said, when I got the information I got initially, I didn't go back in there. And when I wasn't sure, if we should even bring up the Bednar stuff.
Right.
I just never went back. So as far as I know, there could be more stuff in there now, especially with all this going on.
Now, have you corresponded with this Kathy? I know you're wanting to get out of here, but
I absolutely have. I called her on the phone. Me and Cherie. I tried to play it so that Cherie could listen too, but it didn't work so well. I tried to record it, and Kathy knew I was recording it, but it didn't work.
Oh.
But I did. I asked her. I remember asking her particular questions, but she's a lot like me, only maybe worse, if you can even imagine. And I had a hard time keeping her on track with my questions.
Did you ask her what her opinion of Daniel's case was?
I didn't mention Daniel's case.
Yeah.
No, just briefly, if I probably have missed it, but what was going on with her and Henderson? I mean, what happened to her case?
With Kathy?
Yeah.
Let me go back and read the note that I got today so I can make sure I get it right. Because it's a really good explanation and very to the point. Kathy apparently got screwed over by Henderson and she lost her house. And so after that, when she was fighting, I don't know if she was just doing this just to watch him and see what kind of a shady guy he was, but evidently she sat in his courtroom for years watching him do shady shit. She alleged he was having an affair with Cindy Trong, who was the judge who signed the arrest warrant for Daniel and set the $5 million cash bond.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So it's
so if that's true, it's not only him going after these 3 ADAs or whatever. Now he's being linked to a judge, allegedly.
Who? Oh, Bednar? Wait, who?
Henderson.
What do you mean he's being linked to a judge?
He's linked to a whole bunch of judges.
But I mean, isn't that what Kathy was, or this note was talking about? She watched Henderson for years, and he had this affair with this. Did you say Judge Tron? And then what you said?
Cindy Tron, yes.
Oh yeah.
Is the
that's
allegation.
What I'm saying. Yeah, that's the allegation.
Saying, Jack. Not only was he screwing around and with ADAs,
assaulting these ADAs, he's having this alleged affair with
the judge. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I'm guessing that this Pandora's box has got more goodies in it that we have no idea about yet. So okay, thank you.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Yeah, you start every once in a while, you hear something, you're like, wait a minute. Dr. Silkman says, was Daniel's sentencing just a case of misdirected anger and shame? A deflection? Boy, good questions.
Was there mandatory minimums that was followed in his case? I'm guessing there were.
In Daniel's case?
Yeah.
I don't. Oh, I don't know. I'm going to have to ask Cherie. Do you know? I don't feel like they were they mandatory minimums? No, I don't remember ever hearing that.
I mean, they have guidelines, that were passed down from the federal in the 80s and the 90s about sentencing guidelines. So I don't know if there was I just don't know.
You know what? That's a good question. I'm going to have to ask.
I think from what I remember, it seems like they purposely gave as much as they could for each one, but I couldn't swear to it.
Well, I'm thinking about that case in Colorado that I've been talking about all day to Rhonda and, well, not all day, but this trucker in Colorado, people haven't heard about this case. His brakes went out. He couldn't get the truck stopped, and he ended up hitting, I don't know how many cars, but he ended up killing 4 people and hurt several others. But the brakes went out on his truck. It wasn't like he was drinking or had on drugs, anything like that. This guy ends up getting he was found guilty and gets 110 years. I think they originally charged him with like 48 different counts. They ended up getting sentenced on, I'm going to say at least 15 counts or whatever, these various things. And in Colorado, state law doesn't allow sentences to be served together. They have to be served, what's the words? There's concurrent and there's, what's the other one?
Consecutive.
Consecutive, yeah. They have to be served consecutively. They can't be served concurrently. So, you get finished with one, you start another, and so 110 years. And even the DA, I guess the judge had to sentence him that way. So now the DA is trying to find a way to get that reduced. I don't think he should have ever been charged, but, it's not like he blew the brakes out on purpose. Right. It was an accident,
So, okay. Yeah, I remember we chatted about that a little bit earlier today.
Yeah.
While I was trying to listen, you guys, I'm going to be honest with you. I had a much bigger show planned for you guys. By the way, Susan had to take off. She's got a Christmas gathering that she's headed off to. That's why the ginger snaps were made.
I didn't get my invite. What the hell?
I know. It's okay.
As long as I get ginger snaps, it'll be okay.
That's right. We don't have to go to the party. We just need the food.
I just need the food. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. So there's things here that are being added to the chat, which is really helpful to me. The Truth says there's an article about watching them leave a hotel, and I believe that's an article in the Kathy website, whatever it's called. There's an article in there about watching Henderson and Trong having been seen leaving a hotel together, if I recall. And it was during a time when both of those dockets were empty. I remember reading that, so that is in the website. And then Shaz says that's what she's thought ever since Henderson was caught. Yes. And excuse me, my goodness. The Truth says Henderson was just doing his part of the plan. Yep, he sure was. He had no problem participating in his part of the plan at all. I want to get these comments all in here because they're really useful. So that was just doing his part of the plan, I think, was in reference to Dr. Silkman's question, if I'm not mistaken, about how Daniel was sentenced.
I think he got the maximum.
He got the maximum, and they were ran consecutively. So he'd have to do his first 30 years before he could start his next 30 years, and so on. And that's how he ended up with 263 years, which is just fucking insane.
Insane.
Excuse me. Oh my gosh. Shaz says that usually only federal cases have mandatory sentences. Oh, okay. And let's see. Shaz says, from what I understand, living in Oz, she also lives in Australia, that trucker was offered a deal and refused. He wanted just a traffic violation, and the judge had no choice. He knew the brakes were faulty. Oh boy.
Oh man. Yes. Yeah. I can't argue that.
I had heard that they had asked the governor to pardon him.
Yeah, I mean, I know that that company, that trucking company that guy worked for, they had some violations, but as far as the trucker knowing that the brakes were faulty when he took the truck, I don't know that. I can't argue that part of it, so I just have to take what Shell said as what they found out. So thank you, Shaz.
Yeah, thank you very much. Appreciate that. And she also says to check out Scott Reich, Crime Talk. He is a lawyer that discusses the law about cases. Okay, that's good to know. If you have a link to that or a website to that, Shaz, maybe give it to me in Discord or give it in Discord, and then one of the mods can get it and put it in here too, because that would be nice. So yeah, thank you for that. That sounds interesting. And Alice says, but that is American, that is the American non-justice system for you. Yeah. Yeah.
Just us. JUST space US.
Yeah. Just us. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, oh my goodness. Wow. Is that like that's a like a thing? Like it's just a standard thing that's just what it is, Shaz? Is murderers get out in 10 years, they serve a 10-year sentence and they're done? That's insane. And Daniel's in prison for 3 lifetimes. That's just, boy. Yep, that's America. Well, no I shouldn't say that's America, because I love it.
It happens in other places, but we hear about it. These odd, overcrowding, good behavior. A murderer gets out in 10 or 15 years.
Yeah, insane. Whew. So we again naturally have had a lot to talk about. A lot we were able to share with you today, and after the holidays, I will try to put together the rest of what you were supposed to hear tonight. Can you imagine, though, if I had tried to put in everything that I was going to talk about tonight, I couldn't have done it. I mean, I could have, but we'd be going on for 2 more hours easy. So.
Oh, yeah, that's a lot.
So, yeah, it's a good thing I just knocked about at least 1/8 of it off. And, maybe what I'll do is just work on that in sections. I'll have to just see how it goes and how I'm able to get everything divided. I'm
taking it. You don't want me to talk about Twas the Night Before Christmas. I'll leave that out. I'll leave that alone.
Well, that was what was supposed to be tonight. That was what we were supposed to get tonight.
Was the night before Christmas and all through the house. I'm going to stop right there.
Oh, man. Oh, maybe I can get him to record it and I can just share it with you all in a quick little, what do they have, those little YouTube shorts now?
Oh, the shorts, yeah. They're really popular. Some of them are really popular. Wow.
They are, I hear. I've never even seen one, but I
have.
Oh, have you?
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's all kinds of things that pop up. There's different subjects and so forth. And, I mean, a good part of them are,
is it like some kind of version of TikTok or something?
Kind of, yeah. They kind of are. They're anywhere from, just, 10, 15 seconds up to, I think, maybe a minute. I think it's maybe the longest 1 minute and a half. That's about it, though.
Okay. Yeah, it kind of sounds like a YouTube version of TikTok or something, maybe.
That's kind of what it is.
I guess. Yeah. Shaz also says, yes, because so regarding the 10 minutes, getting out of prison after 10 years. Yes, because they have to do pre-drive checks. He was also pulled over. We're talking about the Colorado guy. He was also pulled over, I think, 50 miles or 50 minutes before and knew the brakes were dodgy. The company was dodgy. Is that the guy in Colorado?
Yeah, I think that's what she's talking about.
Okay. And then, oh boy, murderers in Oz sometimes get out in less than 10 years.
Oh boy.
Damn. Oh my goodness. That's just not. Okay. So Catnip got the link, or somebody.
Yeah, you gotta watch her, Shaz. Catnip's on it.
Yeah.
I mean, like duck on a June bug.
Yeah, but she's quick. That's why she's she's not just the super mod here. She's a super mod in every YouTube that she moderates.
She's awesome. Love Catnip.
Just you just have to talk about a thing and something about, I think I saw, and boom, 30 seconds later she's got a clip for you. So
30. Awesome. You took a break.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Yeah, she's awesome. I'm so glad that you're here, Kat. It's really nice to see you.
It really is. And Alice.
And Alice too. Yep, it's been a while.
Love seeing her back in the chat.
Yep, it's been a little while since I've seen some of you, so it's really good to have you guys back.
And no, I'm not acting like a fanny, so don't even go there.
Like a fanny. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. I don't know why I've been taking sips of tea. I don't know why my throat is so dry. Oh,
you need something stronger. You need a little shine. I got some shine over here.
Yeah, maybe a little hot toddy or something. I don't know. Maybe I finally caught the COVID from everybody in the household.
Oh no!
I'm just kidding. I shouldn't have joked about that. Well, you know what? Sometimes I have to make fun of some things because,
of course,
just otherwise it's
Well, some of the subject matter we talk to, if we can't lighten it up, sometimes it gets too dark.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. And this last week or so with, stuff that we've been getting has been very taxing on our brains, working to help Daniel. So
that's a nice quote that Kat just put up there.
Yeah. And it's from Brian Bates. So yeah, you want to read it, Jack?
I will. Quote, 13 accusers, 36 alleged crimes, 17 alleged crime scenes, not a single witness, not a single piece of direct forensic evidence, 263 years in prison, close quote, Brian Bates.
That's disgusting. Thank you for that, Kat. That's disgusting.
Isn't it?
How does that happen in America? I don't understand it. I'm never going to understand it. Even once we get Daniel home, I am never going to understand how this happens. It's same with Stephen and Brendan. Not one single piece, speck, swab of forensic evidence to tie Stephen or Brendan to any crime, much less the crimes they were convicted of.
Unless you pass the swabs over to Scary Culhane. Not Sherry, Scary, my bad.
Scary, yeah, exactly.
That's what I've nicknamed her now, Scary Culhane.
I like that one. That's good. That's a good one.
But it's frightening because she had control of all the swabs. She could do whatever she wanted.
Well, we don't even know if the swabs even existed. Or that the swabs that did exist even had anything on them. That's how I feel about it. So, Jack, I know there was something else that I wanted to talk about. I don't know if it was you I was talking about it with or somebody else. Oh crap! What was it? I can't think now.
Must been somebody else. I can't remember anything.
Yeah. I talked to so many people.
Well, I mean, we talked about, going through these emails. Was it tied to? Was it to the OMFG?
OMFG. I need to change the name.
That PDF. Yeah, I just left it the same as you sent it to me. I didn't want to change it because I wouldn't know what you were talking about.
It's this week or over the weekend, whatever it was. I sent them to Jack, and I labeled them with my own. Well, I guess I labeled them my own name. I said OMFG.
Well, that one was a mind bender. I mean, that was stuff we read loud through. I mean, some of the stuff we read through, we didn't read it all, but
yeah, that was from last week's.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now he refers to that document as the OMFG document. And when he was first saying that today, I was like, what are you talking about?
That's what you called it. I can't help. You just tell me what the name of it is and I'll rename it. Anyway, when you decide. And be fun.
I know how to rename it. I just didn't realize I had named it that for whatever reason. So I'll have to look at it.
Truth's got some good comments. Oh, I'm sorry.
I can't be sending that out in Twitter OMFG.
No, I would definitely rename that one.
So yeah. I love these comments. Thank you so much for helping out with these comments. The truth says there's nothing political about pointing out that the rules you force upon everyone else do not apply to you and your son.
Excellent comment.
That's political about that.
No, there's not. Perfectly said.
Yep, and that's in reference to Mr. Gigger. Well, yeah, Mr. Gigger, Galen Gigger.
Mr. I like Jigger better. Jigger. Go
ahead. Yeah. And then it's called Seeking Justice. Gigger claims the allegations are unfounded and without evidence. Yet I work and research dozens of cases a year filed by this man. Whoa. So you know. Oh, that's scary. Yeah, see, that's just it. You know, it's gotten to a point now. It's like when you're I don't know, maybe like when you're filling a soda at the fountain at the store or something, and you know you're pressing the little button and the soda's dumping in and it's foaming up and you're I don't know about you guys, but years ago when I used to drink soda all the time, I would just kept hitting that button just one more time, get that thing as full as I could without it spilling over after I put the lid on. Just one more time. And it's like, that's what's going on now. And I don't know how I came up with that analogy. Hopefully it makes sense.
No, it's right, because it's like piling on, you know, I call it piling on and piling on.
Yeah. And that's what I feel like they've done. They've piled on and they've piled on and they've piled on. And at some point that that cup of soda is going to flow over. It's going to flow over and stuff is going to spill out. And people are going to notice.
That's where we're at now. It just needs, if it can get out in the media to the masses. And I'm sure some of them are like, oh, well, you know, he didn't mean it. He didn't mean it. Well, yeah, he did mean it. And, you know, these people are in charge of, you know, thousands of cases per year, you know, that they dispense justice. And we don't know, you know, you don't ever know where that bias with them can lie. Just like what we read about these ex parte meetings. This guy couldn't get a word in with anyone, you know?
Yeah. And so the truth says all that he requires, meaning Gigger, to destroy someone's life when it doesn't involve his own son is an accuser. Yep, that's it. And if he doesn't have an accuser, he makes one up and feeds him what he wants him to say. The above comment she says is, or he, whatever. The above is Bates' response to Gigger saying the rape allegations about his son were politically motivated. Oh yeah. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Of course. Yeah. And I've been seeing that, and there's nothing being reported in the news anymore. As I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I check 2 or 3 times a day at news hour release times. Nothing else is being reported. That's why we have to tweet it out, put it on your, I don't know, your Facebook pages or I don't know.
Just tweet it and keep retweeting it. I mean, I mean, I have my own issues with Twitter, but still it's a good way to communicate. And when you do that, also tag some of these news stations.
Yes.
And hashtag it.
Yep. And I have I'm following several of those local news stations. So I try to just do one tweet in a tweet. I don't like having to add another tweet. It's really getting difficult though to do that. I'm getting to the point where in order to get the information noticed, I'm having to start, you know, the original tweet and then add another tweet. And I don't like doing it, but I think that's where we're at. There's just so much information to share that, you know, that's where I'm at with it. So yeah, it's going to spill out. Yes, Kat, it's going to spill out, especially while trying to put the lid on. Yep. Yeah. And like I said, and Shaz, I think I just, and listen, if I tweet something and I don't tag you in it, it's not that I am, you know, blowing you off or not, you know, I would love to tag everybody that I know, you know, but I forget when I'm in the middle of it, and maybe I'm going to have Jack teach me how to create that I don't know if it's like a Twitter team or something where you just, I don't know, but it seems like some people just have, maybe it's in a Word document or something where they have all of their @s who they want to tag, and they just have all these people. And I'm like, how do you do that? How do you remember them all the time? So
I got a phone call. I got to
okay,
mute.
that's fine. That's fine. So anyway, yeah, it's that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to, tweet out information. And now that I think I've figured out how to get the documents linked in a tweet, I think that I should be able to start getting more out there for you guys to help me retweet. And so if I tag you in something, or if you just see something that I've tweeted and you didn't get tagged that is, involves, I really, really do appreciate it if you retweet it for me. And, just try to, and then just do your own tweets. I mean, you can do your own tweets. Let's see. Shaz says, I don't need you to tag Rhonda. Just letting you know I've been retweeting. I know you have. I've seen them. I've seen your tweets. So your retweets. So I appreciate that very much. And that just saves my brain from having to think of, let's see, I've got 25 characters left. Who else can I put in there? Kind of thing. So, anyway, I'm going to get this first. I'm going to try to start working on getting these documents. I guess I don't know if converted is the right word I want to use, but I need to make sure that I'm protecting certain people. And so I'm having to make sure that I have the document downloaded, and so that if somebody does try to, do a metadata search or something on it, it's coming back with my information and not anybody else's. And Jack and I spent some time today kind of working on that in Discord, and I just got into the PDF reader that I use, which is Foxit, and just start playing around and clicking things and looking at stuff. And so I think I got it figured out, and we're going to try the first one tomorrow and see if it worked the way I hope it works. So that being said, it is a little bit of time to do that with the documents, but I can get it done. But when you start seeing those rolling out in the next few days, hopefully before Christmas, just start retweeting for me. And if you can think of anybody that you want to tag, as well, then do it. And there's going to be I try to put hashtags in all of the tweets. So I just know that those are the kinds of things that are, I'm waiting to get shut down by Twitter, to be quite honest with you. I don't know if it works that way or not. I'm just kind of, although I just imagine that people in government positions, they have to know this is the kind of stuff they're going to get tweeted about them, whether they believe the information is being put out there is true or not. They have to know and understand. You chose to be in the public eye. You chose to be corrupt. You chose to lie to your constituents, and you chose to, be unethical, immoral. This is what you get. Hopefully that's something that they understand. If not, then I don't know, report me to Twitter or do something. I don't know. Anyway, this was so much, and I didn't even hardly get a chance to ask Cherie anything or talk to Cherie about anything. So I again, I'm sorry, Cherie.
No problem.
I know I pretty much covered everything, huh?
Hey, are you making fun of me?
No, I'm making fun of myself because I'm such a jabberjaw.
Yeah, she's been the link finder on the spot though. So
yeah, oh yeah,
awesome.
And, yeah, Cherie's great at helping me find stuff like that too. I've got Catnit in the chat. Just say a few words and she's finding a link to drop for it. And then I've got Cherie who's, sending me a little message in the private chat in StreamYard. Here's the link for that. And I'm like, damn, you guys are good. So
I was looking for that case that Bednar gave you the number to, and I found I want to read it again to refresh my mind about all the
I think so
that were happening.
Do we have those documents?
I know that I downloaded those at one time, and I would imagine I still have them somewhere. I'll find them.
I found the decision.
Oh, you found the decision?
Yeah, on it, but that's it. So if you find any others, let me know, please.
Yeah, Rhonda, when you do chop on the sharing, drop that over. Chop.
Chop. He's been slave driving me lately, just so everybody knows.
Well, I'm just saying.
I need to push though. Cherie's, normal, and she works, a high pressure job and has to drive this long commute and stuff. So I don't have her, and
don't worry, Cherie. I got it. I got this. Okay.
Yeah, and Jack Cherie's very kind and subtle and gentle with me.
I am too.
Okay.
Sometimes.
Let me ask you in the chat, did that sound kind and nice and gentle and calm? Chop. No, it did not.
He cracks the whip very gently.
No, it's okay. Okay, all right, fine. Defend Jack. What side are you on? Oh, God. Anyway, we've given you guys a lot more to think about tonight, a lot more that you can read tonight. And so I'm going to let you guys go. I want to give Jack and Cherie a chance to say whatever they'd like to say before we leave tonight.
Go ahead, Cherie.
Thanks for coming, everybody. It was an interesting show.
And ditto for me. Appreciate everyone coming and listening, and hopefully you can, when Rhonda gets these documents added to the description, you can go through and see what we've seen and go, whoa, because you will. It's so crazy. But thanks again for coming.
Yep. And on behalf of my guests and my panel, thank you guys so much for being here tonight and for taking interest in Daniel's case, number one, but particularly all this new information we've been getting. And I'm hoping that the shocking garbage that we've been able to uncover, or that's been uncovered, gets you guys really, really even more so interested in Daniel's case, because it's not whatever we can start getting from all of this stuff that we've been presenting the last couple of weeks. Again, I'm going to say it. I feel very much more hopeful at this point, for Daniel, with the crappy, ugly, depressing year that I've had and so many negative things that have gone on in my own personal life. This last couple of weeks, this information that we've been getting and the hope that it's given me, the stronger hope that it's been giving me for Daniel and for his freedom, has been really overwhelming. And it's been really something that I've needed to, to get me going again, get me excited and anxious to really push hard for Daniel, because I think we can do it.
We knew it was there, all this corruption, but now we're seeing evidence of it. So it's a great thing.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
And that's what I was saying, I think last week. We have been touching all of this stuff in the last, 9-10 months. We've been touching it all, but we haven't been able to touch it, grab a hold of it, and put it together. So now that's being done, and it just is it's almost like a release of
I wonder if Brian Bates will get re-involved now that this is.
No, I know they will. From what I understand, Brian Bates is not doing anything, because every time he, FOIAs a document or gets information or anything like that, the plaintiffs go after him for it. So they subpoena his information. So I don't know how true that is. I was told by a very reliable source that was, at least a part of why he isn't doing anything. And that makes a lot of sense to me.
Wow.
So, it's sad for Daniel, unfortunately, because, Brian Bates is excellent at what he's doing, what he was doing for Daniel. So.
Yeah, I still haven't listened to most of his podcasts, and I need to do that.
Yeah, you really, you know what? Everybody needs to, because then it's a little less difficult for us to try to explain it to you guys that don't know as much, because it's so hard if you haven't at least listened to the podcasts.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I really need to do that, even if it's just, one or two per day, and just get it done.
Yeah, I would really appreciate that. You know what? If any of you guys were thinking of a last Christmas gift idea for me, listen to Brian Bates' podcast.
Look at Kat. I said about his podcast, "What's Kat do?" Bam, there with the link. Thank you, Kat.
Yeah, thank you very much. And you can also find it in at holtzclawtrial.com, and you can also find it. I think I have all of the episodes in Daniel's Truth Discord. So yeah, that's the only Christmas wish I would ask from all of you. Just if you haven't already, and you're a little not sure about everything in Daniel's case, please just listen to the podcast. If you've got some time off over the holidays or something, please just listen to Brian Bates' podcast and watch Daniel in the Den by Michelle Malkin. Doing those two things will really help you have a better understanding of what we talk about all the time. So, go ahead.
That gives me some ideas maybe for open mic or two upcoming.
Yeah, absolutely. That would be great. And now that I have some documents that I can actually share, it would be, it'd be really nice to go to, another platform and start sharing some things again. It's
Absolutely.
It's hard to really do any of these podcasts, because there's really, so much information that's out there that I don't have, that I can't share, that would make it so much more interesting to people. You know what I mean? And so when that's the case, it Uncuff the Innocent is a really good place to go for documents that haven't been shared before.
Well, what this case really needs is what I've told you before. It needs a Making a Murderer or some kind of documentary to expose just what we know.
Right. Yeah.
Can you imagine?
I can't even imagine anybody trying to do a documentary. I mean,
it had to be more than 10 parts. It had to be more than 10 parts. I know damn well that.
Yeah, definitely would have to be more than 10.
It's too big.
It's just too much. And then when you start, there's my girl. Check it out. She says, "Uncuff the Innocent." Yeah, because Erica, who's the, works on with Daniel's defense team, is part of the team. She's got, so I think she's got some documents in Uncuff the Innocent that you can also read. So yeah, but yeah, that would be great, Jack. I mean, if you do, if you decide you'd like to do that sometime, and if there's documents that I have access to that I can share, and you want to do an open mic about it, we would love to do that.
Right, yeah, that'd be great.
Cherie?
I think we lost Cherie.
Oh, she's there. She just forgets she's muted sometimes.
I'm here. Yes.
Oh.
So yeah, because I know that Cherie would love to, come along too, if that's something that's possible. So thank you.
Absolutely.
I'm going to assume that was an invite, and
absolutely,
and we gladly accept. So, Alice, you're absolutely right, sweetie. You would need 10 episodes just to explain one accuser, for fuck's sake. Yes.
No doubt. Right. It's crazy.
Especially Terry Morris and Tabitha Barnes, I think.
Oh, yeah.
So, all right, you guys. You know what? I know some people think that 2 and almost 3 hours is way too long for a podcast. And you know what? Maybe it is. But I've been on longer podcasts before.
No doubt. I've done several much longer.
Yes.
We'll just be getting warmed up and be like, okay, now let's get going.
Yeah, exactly. So,
well, if the subject matter is interesting and there's good conversation, why not? People are interested in, why not talk, you know?
And I just kind of, we're able to, on StreamYard, we're able to kind of watch the viewer count to see how many people are, still watching. And when I see that like steadily starting to drop, then I know it's time to go. But as long as I'm getting comments or questions or something in the chat, I'm not just going to bail and leave people. I just,
right.
I want to answer whatever questions I can or respond to any comments that I can. And,
I agree.
So, yeah. So, if you don't want to hear 2.5 hours of me and, my guests, then you don't have to listen to all of it. But at this point, we've given you all the information for tonight we can give you. We've had a little bit of fun. We've had a little bit of seriousness. And I just want to say to everybody that is able to hear my voice, thank you all so much for this fabulous year that you have helped me to get through and to survive and to try to find strength and courage to keep going. And, in times and days and minutes and hours that I would just like to have been non-existent. So I really owe that to this case. I owe that to my friends in this case, in foul play. You guys have all been wonderful, and every single one of you in the chat. That goes for every single one of you in the chat. I know that I talk to all of you, not necessarily every day, but on a regular basis. You guys are my friends. You're my family. And I am so grateful for each and every one of you and everything that you bring to me and to my healing and my health and strength. And with that, I will say Merry Christmas, everyone, and have a wonderful, happy holiday with friends and family. Until next time, Merry Christmas.